A lot of people have been so interested on how I get my cages. Since I do battery cage system, as you can see, a lot of people have been asking me, how do you get your cages? And I've been saying this a lot of times on my platform. I'm in East Africa, Uganda. And in Uganda, I'm in the central. That's where I'm located. So many people be asking me, how do you get your cages? Where do you get your cages from? At what price do you get the cages at? So in today's video, that's what I'm going to be talking about. So make sure you watch this video up to the end and you save it, share it, save it somewhere so that you're going to need this knowledge to bring in any equipment you want. It doesn't apply for only cages, but any other equipment you want to bring in to your farm. So basically, me, on my 9 to 5, I work in a logistics company. So when it comes to importing things, almost everything to Uganda, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I know the technical how to. I know all the way you can go about it. So that's what I do as well. So let me tell you how I acquire my cages as well, using the knowledge using the knowledge from my 9 to 5. I've just brought in another batch of cages. I just cleared them from the bond last week. I think it was even yesterday, but one. Yeah, that's still last week. I just imported in another batch of cages. I'm going to show them to you. As you can see still, I was at the bond clearing and doing all sorts of things. I don't buy my cages here, though there are cages, people who sell cages in Uganda, but I don't buy my cages from the people who sell them here. Why? Because at the end of it all, this is a business. You're trying to look at the cheapest way of getting things done. And I get my suppliers from China and I import my cages. So this is how the entire process goes. For you, a lay person starting from scratch, first thing you're going to need is a supplier. You're going to need a supplier from China who has quality cages. Of course, there are very many suppliers. For me personally, this is not an advert or whatsoever. I'm just sharing my knowledge to you guys. I use an app called Alibaba. On Alibaba, you can download it from App Store, from Play Store. It's called Alibaba from China. On that app, for me, that's the one I use. There are very many other apps you can use to get to suppliers. There's everything. Because this time around, I bought a weighing scale, a bigger weighing scale, because I used to suffer to weigh bigger pigs, since I do pig at the farm as well. A bigger weighing scale, pigs can just walk in and take the measurements, and also brought in cages. So you can literally get anything from that app. So I went to that app and I brought in another set of cages. After you get a supplier, and a good supplier, a legit supplier, you can see, of course, they're also rated. There are some who are verified, others are not. But since we are beginners in this thing, I prefer you get a verified supplier. And you negotiate, you talk about what you want, the type of cages you want. They have all types, H-type, A cages. May I use A-type? They have H-type, how many tires you want, how many floors do you want, like how many levels you want on your cages. And then you'll just import your cages just like that. You get a supplier, you talk to them, you negotiate, you bargain the price at how much you're going to pay them for. And then in China, there are many logistics companies. I wouldn't want to recommend the one I used because you might find problems with it, or it might be good to you, but I wouldn't want someone to be on my case that recommended this for me. You get any logistics company. There are very many here in Uganda that are advertising. I think you can see the cages there. The ones that we've just imported a few days ago. We've just brought in these, and still we do these from the farm. We arrange them from here. My guys at the farm know how to go about them, how to set them up, but you just import them. I think you can see. You get the supplier, just give them your phone number and the name you want them to be labeled on your cages. Once you're done with that, the rest is easy. They'll put everything you need. They'll give you everything, even what you'll need to set them up. Because now this is kind of like a stapling machine that puts everything together. Everything will be in there. You won't need to buy anything from here. I'm afraid if you use the local people to buy these cages, the moment you buy the cages alone, and then they ask you money for the pipe work, they'll ask you money for the feed troughs. Like, it becomes very funny and tricky. But these guys, you buy everything, you get everything at once. The nipples are there. These are the pipes. The feeding troughs are there as well. Like, literally everything. Let me show you the nipples because they're also there. That's why I opted to import. I think you can see the nipples, the water troughs, these things that help the water to flow properly. Everything, you get everything at that cost you negotiate your supplier with. Just make sure you get a right supplier. After negotiating and getting to know exactly what you want, you agree on the money, and then find out who's sending the money. Still, the logistics companies in Uganda help you send that money. I would prefer you send the money in Chinese currency. You get in touch with any logistics company, especially the logistics company you're going to use to import those cages of yours. You get in touch with that logistics company, you go and send the money from the logistics company. Why am I emphasizing this? You might opt for Western Union and things get tricky. You might opt for Western Union and then you send your money in Nigeria to a guy seated in his bedroom scamming people. So once you get that Alibaba, once you send the money in Chinese currency, you go to the suppliers, to the logistics company that is going to help you import them. Once you get to the logistics company, tell them this Chinese have told me this and this amount. The amount is normally in yuan or RMBs. Yeah, the Chinese currency is yuan. So they convert for you how much you're supposed to send, or they might charge you a small fee. You send your money from there they might charge you a small fee, but still it's safer that way. You give the money to them, they send the money to your supplier, then the supplier delivers to their address, because all logistics companies that import have addresses in that country they're importing from. So after delivering for you, once they're done delivering, you'll just stay in touch with them. They might take like 2-3 months at most, but it's normally 2 months. So you have to import your cages early, because I put in the order moment I got the chicks at the farm. I put in the order for the next cages, the next batch. Moment I put the chicks at the farm, that's when I order for the cages. So as the chicks are growing, the cages are also in transit. Now the chicks are ready for the cages. They are ready. Let me show you that batch that I'm going to put in those cages. Now they are ready to get into those cages. So even the cages are ready at the farm. Right now we're going to arrange them just within that 1 week. Next week my guys will be done with them. Next Sunday we shall be just moving them to the cages. I think you can see those chicks. They're not even chicks, they're pullets. You can see them. They're ready for cages right now. They're 3 months already. So they've been there for 1 extra month. And after that 1 month, we start seeing eggs all of a sudden. Again, another batch will start giving us eggs. So still continue with the process. Once you're done with paying the supplier, they've delivered, that of course that logistics company will tell you that they've received your goods. And once they've received your goods, just stay in touch with them. They'll tell you when they reach. They'll ask if you want to clear yourself the taxes, or they should help you. If you're bringing in few cages, but I would mainly advise you to bring in at least cages for 1,000 chicken. That way it makes sense, because 500 chicken cages and 1,000 chicken cages, the costs are kind of the same for importing. So if the costs are kind of the same, and then you pay an amount for 500 chicken that can bring in 1,000 chicken, you just buy 1,000 and bring in 1,000 chicken cages. You'll keep the if at all you're not doing 500 chicken, you can keep the cages for another batch. Probably might want to expand, but I'd advise for 1,000. And then that's the logistics company will ask you if you're going to clear for yourself. If you want them to help you clear the taxes, you just pay the money to them. I would suggest you clear for the first time, unless you've done this before you're clearing goods for yourself. I would suggest you clear for yourself, because these are agro-based materials. You're importing a machine, kinda. It's not even a machine, but you're importing something that is going to be used in the agriculture sector. So such things are not taxed highly in Uganda, mainly for people who are in Uganda. Those things are not highly taxed. So you clear the taxes for yourself, and then that's it. There's no big deal. You go to the bond, clear them, you pay URA, the amount. They'll just ask you a few questions. What are these cages? They are for how many birds? You tell them, and then they'll give you an assessment. You pay the assessment, and then you pay the logistics company for transporting, and then that's all. You'll be done. It's not a very hard thing. But buying cages here is a little more. You'll find yourself saving at least half the amount you would have used for buying them here, especially those who are looking at 1,000 chicken cages and above, but less than 1,000, like 500, 200, there you can buy the cages here as you try to grow and then reach to the extent of importing. But once you import, you're saving half the amount, and those cages are things you're going to use more than once. Because for my first batch, I had to let them go eventually. They are very old. They laid for about 1 year and 8 months, and of course I wasn't getting the right amount I would have gotten out if I had kept them long at the farm. So I had just had to sell them off. But after selling them off, their cages are still there, so I won't have to buy cages the next time I'm bringing in another batch. That's the beauty about using cages. So guys, that's the only way. People have been asking me this question very many times. How do you get your cages? Download an app. If you don't have the app, get Chinese supplier, import them. When they reach here, try to clear for yourself. Those guys, still the logistics company can help you. They have the clearing agents, those logistics company. They'll just say, hey, let so-and-so help you. If you don't have a clearing agent, let them help you. If you don't have a tin, they can use their tin. If you have a tin, you can even use your tin, you just clear them. You clear them using your tin, you pay URA taxes, you pay the shipping agent their amount, which is not as much as buying them here. You just have to plan right on when you expect to use them. Bring them a bit early. Don't wait when the chicks have overgrown. Otherwise, what if things don't go as planned and then you have to wait way longer and then the chicks need to go in through the cages? That happened to me once and I learned from it. So the moment I get the chicks at the farm on day one, next day I'm paying for the cages to the supplier. They deliver them to the address and then I wait. They're normally here earlier than needed. That's the way important. They should get here earlier than when you need them. The guys put them in order, they arrange them, they make sure everything is fine, and they're easy. You don't have to pay someone else to come do it for you. Apart from the first time, but still, those guys make sure they put everything for you. Still, there are YouTube videos. For me, the first time still I used a YouTube video. What was tricky was the drainage, the water system, because arranging the nipples to make sure water flows up to the last cages, you can see, so that the water from this water trough can go up to the extreme chicken in the other last cage. That was a bit tricky for me, but still I had to bring in someone to teach me that. But I did that only for the first batch. But the rest of the batches, my guys at the farm now know. They do it themselves. I don't have to teach them how to do that. So the rest is easy. The rest is history. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm very, very happy. I have to say this. We've eventually hit 1,000 subscribers. Those who haven't subscribed, guys, this is the winning team. Join. Keep getting inspired. I'm going to be teaching you more and more things. Like, comment, ask how anything. I'll be replying to you slowly, one by one. Thank you.